Hey y'all, it's T coming in with your tiny check-in. Before we start, please subscribe to the YouTube page. Today's check-in, we are just playing around because I've never done this shit before. So I'm just really talking to myself. I'm gonna do a sample reading to see how things look, to see how my hands look, shit like that. See how the sound works. So today we're gonna do financial reading. We're gonna use all of the decks, but pick a deck. Whichever deck you pick is the deck we'll start with for each reading. Give you a second, take a deep breath, put your shoulders down, relax your face. 3 deep breaths in and out. And just pick whatever resonates the most for you right now. Colors, vibes, whatever you're getting. If it's more than one, that's okay too. Alright, I've already called in my protectors. At this time, I'm going to call in my people as well as your highest and most benevolent ancestors. Alright, so today's reading, we're getting into some money things. Oh, first card, seeing about how you can bring more money in. Okay. So first cards, growth, knowledge, truth. I like those. I think those are interesting in terms of how we can bring money in. What we're talking about right now is growth, right? That's what I just asked about. So it's literal right now. We're trying to get to the truth of how we grow. Part of this has to do with gaining more knowledge, it seems like, about whatever it is that you're doing, and cutting through the bullshit, right? So a lot of times, especially when you're growing your business, there are a lot of and I don't even want to call them scams, but just like schemes and classes and bundles and things that aren't really giving you the information that you thought you were going to get when you paid for it, right? So a lot of this is trying to cut through things and like figure out what it is that you can find out on your own without having to spend as much money, or to vet whoever you're going to be getting classes and things like that from before you go ahead and spend the money on it, to make sure you're going to get the growth and the actual knowledge that you're looking for out of the situation, right? Let's see in terms of investments and things like that, what you can literally do besides knowledge to get more. Firm foundation. Okay, so with the firm foundation card and the knowledge, the growth, and the truth, I'm feeling like part of it starts at the bottom. I think you may be going off too far in what you're thinking about doing. So like dial it back a little bit, right? Come back to your core values, your purpose, things like that. Come back to tangible things, right? So you may be off in like marketing land, but come back to like, how much do I actually have in stock in my warehouse? How much do I have on hand if shit was to get big and the growth was to happen? Do I have the foundation set and put in place for me to be able to ship to people, for me to be able to have enough products on hand, for me to be able to meet demand, kind of thing? Like, that's definitely what that energy gives, right? Okay, so anything that you guys are not doing necessarily right now that you could be doing more of to help with the money. New beginnings reverse. So again, like, part of the growth comes with knowledge, trying new things, the truth, and maybe what you're doing is not actually working. Part of what's, holding you back is the fact that you're, maybe what you're doing is the wrong way to go about it, or maybe you need to go back to the drawing board and learn a little bit more about the strategy that you're putting in to make it actually work. Okay, and then let me see if there's anything else that we could be doing more of. Harmony. Okay. Like I said, it feels like whatever we were doing before, there's a little bit of it being out of alignment. So part of it is like an ease. Needs to be more of an ease and a flow to what you're doing. Don't push as much in the sense of forcing things to happen. If it's not working, let it go. That's the truth. If it's not working, let it go. The things that happen easily, the things that pop off, that let's say you make a video and you made it in 15 minutes as opposed to the 2 hours you normally put in, and it got so many views. Like, that's harmony, right? Harmony also in terms of finances and making money has to do with like allowing people to help you, right? Allowing people to help you, asking for help, sharing of resources, things like that, right? And then the bottom card, shadow, right? So we have harmony and shadow. So there may be parts of that like are hard for you, are harder for you than other things, right? So that may be something to sit with. Maybe you don't easily ask for help, or maybe you have a problem with like sharing your resources, or issues with security, going back to the firm foundation and the root of things with security and feeling comfortable and things like that. There may be some shadow work around how you deal with money and other people, especially if you're dealing in terms of your finances with business partnership or groups of people, or like an investment with a group of people or things like that, right? So that's definitely something that you may need to sit with yourself with and journal about, or meditate on, or just take some time with yourself away as much as you can in terms of like, making the best business decisions for yourself, but to take the time away to like, pay attention and see if we can get to the heart of these issues so that we can root them out, right? So that we can have these harmonious relationships and get to the growth. And maybe that's part of the knowledge that we need to attain, not just book knowledge, or more knowledge about our actual field, but like more knowledge about ourselves and the truth, right? Going back to that truth card, the truth about like how we can be more in flow with gaining money once we get rid of these shadow feelings about finances. It also is giving, in terms of harmony and shadow, that like there may be a lack of feeling deserving of certain things, and that part of the shadow work that you need to do around money and finances and gains has to do with like the ease in which you can get money, or the ease in which you deserve to live, a fruitful life, or to be successful, or to, have the skills that you've already attained grow and continue to sustain you, kind of thing. Like, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting right now. Also, just again, we have the truth card on the bottom of the deck again. So truth. There's a lot of truth that we're getting to. But yes, okay. This is our reading for the first pile, all about growth, truth, getting to the bottom of things, right? Harmony, ease, new beginnings, and seeing what we can do to make things creative and new so that we can grow those things. Okay. Last part, I'll ask if there are any magical things, in a sense, if you do workings that you can do to help increase, to increase your money immediately. Fire, magic. Okay, so that suggests to me like candle burn or fire burn, especially because we were talking about shadow work and letting go. So you can do a fire bowl and like let things go. Also, the energy and in the element of fire is like active, creative, going for it, right? And again, we're talking about finances, so it's definite like energy of like the growth is there. You have the ability to like grow your shit and to get more, but you need to put in that action to be able to get it. And that may be that knowledge, that may be the truth of what you're doing and changing your actions around that. That might be the actions of the shadow work that we talked about. Okay, but like again, we asked about magic. We got the magic card with the fire. Utilize this energy. Okay, let me clear all of this, and then we'll get into the next group. All right, group 2. Sorry, y'all. I'll lighten up. Okay. So again, this is all about growing our finances. If you picked group 2, like I said before, I'm going to use most of the decks, more than one deck at least, in the reading. But we're going to start with the deck that you picked and you resonated with the most. So first card we got out is mental conflict. Again, this is about our finances. So part of how we're growing our finances, you see the tree in the background there with him, is a mental block, right? It's something that mentally that we have to deal with. And that was a little bit of what we talked about at the end of the last pile. Okay. Heartache, loss, rejoice, celebration, universe. Okay, y'all. So, like I said, with the mental conflict card and the heartache and loss, these two together are given, again, this is about growing our finances, right? Part of growing our finances with the people that chose this pile, there may be a block because of financial loss that you've taken previous, and that is blocking you from believing or actually bringing in the money that you want to bring into this, okay? Like, these are both emotion cards, so there's a big emotional blockage here. So not only is there a block in how you're thinking in terms of crown energy, right, and being able to tap into that faith and that energy, but there's also this heart chakra energy of loss, right? And again, this has to do with finances. So to me, it has to do with the fact that maybe you made an investment and you lost big, and this is previously, right? You've lost big previously, or you were supposed to get a big bag or a job that was supposed to be lucrative in previous situations, and for whatever reason, they haven't worked out. Or maybe you got the job, but you weren't there for the long term, and you didn't get exactly the gains that you thought you were going to get. Like, again, this has to do with prosperity. So to me, but especially with the rejoice and celebration card, it's like, I don't get to celebrate. I don't get to get the big win. So I don't feel like I'm going to have big wins. Like, that's kind of the energy of it. It's like, I don't get the big wins, so I don't feel like I'm going to, and that sits in my heart space. And that, maybe unconsciously without knowing, is part of what blocks you from being able to draw in prosperity and to be able to believe that, like, there is more out there for you, that there's enough for everybody, and that you deserve some of that, right? It's also giving the energy that, like, to me, this is a you and your emotions thing, but to me, there's actual, supportive energy here for you to be able to grow if you could get past these emotional blocks and the emotional conflicts. Like, it seems to me that, especially with the face in the universe, that there is, support there. There is universal support there. So whether that's spirit, meaning like the great spirit of the universe, or whatever your, higher being belief is, or actual ancestors or guides, or, like, to me, with that face, especially with that face there, with the rejoice and celebration card, and because they're two different colors than the first two cards we started out with, which were all inside of you, it's giving outside support. It's giving the idea that, like, there are wins. There have been wins. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they've been overshadowed by the losses, but there have been wins and there can be wins because the universe is supportive of that. Okay? The universe is supportive of that. The card also we have on the bottom is discontent and boredom. So maybe part of this emotional stagnation and these emotional blocks have been keeping you in places that don't allow you to make money or don't allow you to have the growth that you want, because you're not even doing things that you necessarily love to do, right? So you're not being fulfilled, but you feel stuck and you feel like you have to stay there because that's all that you can get, so to speak. You know, that's what you feel like. It's like all that I can have, you know, but there's an idea that like there's more. There's more to be had out in the universe. There's more to be had in terms of celebrating and gaining and tangibility. You know, they're drinking champagne and there's an award there. So like we can have more, but we have to get up from under this stuck stone place that we're in terms of feeling like we have to be boxed in to whatever is keeping us, or wherever we're being kept, I should say, because what's keeping us are these emotional blocks. Okay, let's see if there is anything we can do. But you know what, I'm gonna switch up. Let me switch up. Yeah, so again, the Four of Cups with this discontent and boredom card, we need to, what do you really, 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 really want? And I don't mean in terms of like tangibility. I want more money. No. Like, what does the Holy Grail look like? Because right now, we talked about it. You're completely discontent and bored. So if you could actually not have, you know, just anything, but what you want, what would it look like? How would you want to grow money, right? If you really believed that you could have the world, right? If you really believed that the bag could be yours, what would it look like? What would that job, career, flow of money, because it doesn't just have to come in through working, right? And that, like, that's a whole other conversation, but like really sitting into what would that look like? Like, this is bejeweled, right? This is gold and chalice, and that's what he's looking at. There's these other 3 cups down there, and I mean, sure, they're cool, you know? But like, they're not as cool as that one. And that's right in front of him. That's attainable, right? So again, this is attainable. But we have to get from up under these things to figure that out. Okay? And then there, again, we have Ace of Staves. So there's more action that needs to be taken in order to have this thing. What are we not doing? We're not taking enough action for the things that we want and what we actually want it to look like. No, it's not gonna, we step out tomorrow and we get the chalice necessarily, right? But we won't get to the chalice if we stay in this damn box. And I just want to point out, we had like the awards and the glasses, and then we have a golden chalice, so gold cups everywhere, okay? And then a gold stave. So there's golden opportunities here in the universe, okay? But like this, our emotions about what we can grow, what we can have, what we haven't had, what we thought we should have, where we think we have to be, all keeping us from the gold, okay? All keeping us from the gold. Now let me see. And just to double down on that, the next card on the bottom is, this is the 9 of Swords. And you can see all the swords all around her head space, right? So that's our thoughts, our fears, our negative thinking, our insecurities, things like that. Okay? So let me see if there is any magical workings we can do in this case. Let me know what y'all are thinking about these piles too. Immediately, lucky. Okay, lucky and karmic path. So the energy is there, right? The energy is there. You have to really believe that this is not meant to be your life. This is a blip on the screen, right? Whatever has happened, however long it has happened, you have so much life left to live. And if you really believe that your whole life is meant to be struggle, you know, then to an extent it will be. It will continue to be. But if you know for a fact that you're doing the things that you need to do, right? In terms of being a good person, okay? Doing things for other people, doing the shit you need to do for yourself, right? Taking care of yourself on your spiritual journey, things like that, then there should be no reason why you really feel like shit has to suck, okay? The magic that you need to do is affirmation work, is manifestation work, is, as you know, subconscious mind work, right? It's the power of the subconscious mind. Shout to Bossy. Okay, like it's that. Okay, it's really trying to retrain your brain around these feelings that you have that are really what's holding your money up. You know, you may be thinking it's all these other things, but like what's holding it up is how you're thinking about it, how you think that you're supposed to get it, or how you deserve it, or that you don't deserve it, or what you think your life is supposed to be. Okay? That's what's stopping the bag. Because the bag energy is there. It's there. It's there. Okay? I hope that makes sense, y'all. Let me clear up. And then we're going to get into the last pile. Okay, and the song that is just playing right now, as just said, something about I can't get the fuck out my head. Okay, so again, like doubling down. Oh, it's Mercury by Steve Lacy. I missed the first part of that, but I'll put a link to the song in the notes. All right, pile 3, let's get into growth and prosperity. Lots of swords, I'm liking that. And again, okay, so pile 3 people, we are definitely forging out growth and prosperity. How are we getting growth and prosperity? It looks like, especially with like this 5 of swords and this prince, y'all are doing different shit. You're picking up a different skill, you're picking up a different craft, a different position, a different job, something like that. Like, you've definitely taken aim at something new. There's the energy of still being not a novice, but being more so at the beginning of this, right? So there's the 5 of swords. He looks like a young student learning. You know, he has all his swords. He may be good at his craft, but again, he's still young, right? Then you have the prince, which from the court cards, the prince is like, in this deck, the prince would be knight energy, but the prince still, like, it's similar to page energy in the sense of being younger, right? So you have a skill, you're good at that skill, but you're not at the point of king energy where it's like the end, where you're reaping rewards more so, right? You're still in the battle or the fight of whatever is happening, and you're still sharpening your sword. You're still gaining skills and knowledge, right? And then again, we have the 2 So it's putting the two polar opposites together to make the two, the second force. So again, it's not the three in the sense where we're reaping the rewards or the birth of something new from it. We're still like tinkering, right? So the idea of the growth to me with this pile has to do with y'all attaining new skills, new thoughts, new knowledge, new positions, literally doing something new to get money. And it feels like you're starting to, like, you're either going to or you're starting to see growth from it, because there's a progression, right? Like, he has all the swords, and then he is now wielding the one sword, and now she is, like, meditatively sitting with the two swords on either side, right? So to me, it almost seems like a progression of sorts, right? We're figuring things out here, we figure out what we want to do here, and then we add something else to it to give us even more. Okay, the card on the bottom I have is the Three of Cups. So I don't know if part of the prosperity or part of what you're thinking has to do with you selling out to other people, and not selling out, that was the wrong choice of words. You selling to other people, right? Or other people being involved or having to like comment or give feedback, or it's giving like customer approval in a sense, or it's giving like having to interact with people, like social. I don't know if that's social media or to be more social, to get out, things like that, and more social, and whatever this new thing is that you're doing, right? And then there's also the Six of Cups on the bottom. So maybe part of what you're like, to me, it's other people. They started off with you, right? You're forging your way. You're making this happen. That's how you're making your money. And then I feel like in order to get it or to grow it, you have to go out and like teach people or mingle with people or grow your social media, or have social interaction in that sense. Like like I said, this is Cups energy, so it's more emotions, love, social, communal kind of energy, as opposed to how you're actually building and getting the money, which is a lot of critical thinking, planning, action, swords energy. Okay, so now let's get into anything. No, I'll use this one. Anything we could be doing more of, or anything that we're not doing. Material and spiritual prosperity. So it looks like, again, there's a lot of growth. We've been doing a lot of action. Maybe we're at the point now with this group that we need to sit and wait. It's giving like Three of Wands energy, like waiting for things to come back, waiting to see what happens, to see what grows, to see if we need to change things up or to continue to run things the way that we have been. There was a lot of critical thinking that we had in the Swords cards. So this, again, like I said, it's just like a time for sitting, waiting, seeing what comes in, seeing how much money we make, how we can invest that money, how we can continue to make money with that strategy, or if the strategy needs to change, kind of thing. Right? I know you want to do a lot, but like there's also the rest period, there's also the recoup, there's also the research period after things happen, things come in. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Okay, base chakra. So again, there's this material and spiritual prosperity. That's a red card. We have the base chakra. That's a red card. Base chakra, root chakra has to do with like foundation security. I talked about that a little bit in the second pile. But to me, it's giving, make sure that you're investing in foundational things. Make sure you're putting money away. Make sure you're making long-term investments, right? Things that are going to grow your money, that you can just let sit there, kind of energy. Buying property, things like that. Like, and in terms of how you're growing your business. Don't just buy a whole bunch of shit. Like, don't buy a whole bunch of supplies that you don't necessarily need right now. Like, make smart decisions in terms of how much you need and how much you think that you can actually sell right now, not in terms of just, you know, what you want to sell, right? So that you have enough return on your investment, right? And that you're actually making gains, okay? Because there's a lot of prosperous energy. You're doing a lot of work. That is seen as validating that you've been doing a lot of work and you're going to continue to do a lot of work, right? But like, make sure that we're saving for rainy days. Make sure that we're planning for possible recessions. Make sure that we're planning for a slowing up in purchasing. And this is a just in case. I'm not like wishing this on you at all. It's wishing you much prosperous energy, right? But again, we're just planning. This is base energy. We're making sure our security and our foundation is good, okay? All right, let's see if there's any magical work that we can be doing, group 3. And just, I want to tell y'all the Wheel of Fortune was on the bottom just for shits and giggles. I liked it. I looked down. I just saw it. I really liked that. So things are up. Things are really good. We're on the upside. But again, it's a wheel. Things can turn. So just make sure we're planning for rainy days. Planning for the lows as well as the highs. Stormy and soulmate. Okay. Stormy and soulmate, y'all. So again, any magic that we can be doing. What this gives me, honestly, this to me is giving reversal energy. So again, these are magic teas. If you do, you know, if you practice, if you do workings, this is what we're asking about. So it's stormy, right? So it's like rocky, chaos energy in a sense. And then we have the soulmate energy, which is supposed to be like love and comfort and things like that. So to get these two together and we're asking about magic, to me it's giving reversal energy, right? Maybe you want to do a reversal for your business, or maybe you want to do a money reversal, right? So you can do with a money reversal candle, instead of a regular reversal where you have the black on the top and the red on the bottom, with this you'd have the black on the top and the green on the bottom, right? So, and you don't have to just use a reversal, like a, you know, a reversal candle. If you can't find one, then like, you know, do what you do. Like, you know, I'm a hoodoo, I get it. Candle energy, okay. But again, it's giving to me reversal energy. So again, this is about prosperity. So it's around prosperity. It's around your business. It could be around abundance or finances or wealth energy. And in terms of the reverse, it could be like sending it back in terms of what people have sent to you, especially because we had that that 3 of Cups card. Or you could do a candle that's more so like removing the you know, the negativity or any negativity that may be around your business, and bringing in love and clients and attracting you know, wealth and prosperity and abundance and things like that. If you actually have a physical place of business, you might want to do this like inside of your place of business to specifically bring in that energy. Or to again, I said candle, but if you don't want to do a candle, you can do a floor wash, you can do a grid, you can do, you know, that you can do a number of things, however your practice is set up. But like I said, to me, the magical working around this for group 3 is giving reversal energy, okay? So I hope that made sense to y'all. Everybody, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and tell me what you thought about this reading. I hope that you loved it. Please book with me. Look at the website, tinytarotreader.com. Booking is all there. There's the blog, Tiny Tidbits. Check everything out. And again, let me know how y'all like this reading. I will be back with more videos. Okay? Love y'all. Bye.